It's Jedi Mind. Just wanted to make an Ark video for us. Primarily just one as a baseline in stages, and this is stage one. The stage one is preparation, mainly half an hour to an hour before Ark starts. So obviously the first thing is your buffs. So you've got attack, defense, troop capacity, gathering speed. Obviously pop the gathering speed throughout the hour of Ark of Osiris. In future we will be assigning people that will be gathering, so the extra 50% will make a difference. Troop capacity, obviously if you've got them, use them, the 50%ers. If you haven't, 25, but yeah, really you want to be using a 50% for the Ark, most definitely. In terms of attack and defense, really you want the 10%. You can pick these up in the VIP shop for only 600 gems, which is a bargain really, and it will make a huge difference. And then you got the defense. These are a bit harder to come by. I think they are in the VIP shop as well, but I think it's on VIP 12 maybe, or 11. But yeah, I think when it comes to attack and defense, down the line where we're heading, we will be looking at like rally leaders will be popping this one, and then garrison defenders, so people defending structures, will be popping this one. This is the level we'll be looking to get to in the future. Right, so that's the buffs. And then after you pop the buffs, you want to do your army presets. Just on my brother's account. Oops. Okay, so yeah. Normally what I do is I pop my buffs. Obviously I've recalled all my farmers. You have to do that. If you've got farmers on the map, you cannot enter the Ark. So yeah, and then normally I just hold down, drag it out, and then set up the commanders I want. So for example, Nina Chow. Obviously the buffs are already done, so this will be 300k. And then you got this little green arrow here. Click that, and then number 1, and then you do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Myself personally, I'm a cavalry player, and I'm in the middle. So cavalry, and then I've got my archers, and then I've got my T1. And then normally when I've done my job with my T1, because I'm normally the obelisk guy, they'll get home, and then I'll switch them to gathering. And when I gather, it's Joan, level 60, with Gaius Marius secondary, 300k siege onto the map, and I jump from node to node. So they're not one node go home, one node go home, or node, and then I suicide them on the map, and you still get your resources when they go home. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, your hospital has to be empty. So before Ark, make sure your hospitals are clear and empty. Don't enter war frenzy, so don't be fighting other governors on the map or scouting 15 minutes before at least. If you're in war frenzy, you cannot enter Ark. Equipment, it's also another thing. Any last minute forges you can do. And equipment wise, you want to make sure the primary commanders, you've got the equipment set up on them. especially important for rally leaders and garrison captains, but then also if you're in the middle, you want to make sure your primary commanders are rocking and rolling with the equipment. So yeah, and any last minute forges you can do. Like, I know my brother's only a tiny amount away from getting the purple helmet, so he'll make sure he's got that done before Ark to give him an extra edge. Commanders as well. Say you've got a commander at level 58 or 57 and you've got enough books to get them over the line, or the day or two or a few days before Ark, kill some barbs, get it up to 60 before the Ark if you are planning to use that commander once you get it to 60 as a primary. Also 30 minutes before Discord, make sure you jump on there if you've got any last minute questions or queries. Myself and other Ark leaders within the Alliance will be there to help. So that's it individually. As an Alliance, there's also stuff we can do to prepare. So we've got the Alliance skills. We tend to go for unbridled progress. I know that there is things some alliances do where they'll pop this initially, and then they'll pop like an attack, and then they'll basically use all three of these within the hour. That's something we might think about in the future, but at the minute we're a lower tier. We're not the high tier, but we will progress as we develop as an alliance. But at the minute we're popping this. Yeah, potentially in the future we could look at, okay, we're using unbridled progress, initially to get to where we want to get to, and then when we're making an offensive we'll pop books and battles for the attack, and then maybe when we're defending a lead, say we're 8,000-10,000 in the lead, we'll pop counter defensive and just defend a bit more. But yeah, that's something a strategy we can use in the future as we grow. Also, this might be confusing because I'm on Jave's account and it's in Alfam, but R5 and Warlord. So the R5 and the they don't have a Warlord set. So yeah, the R5 and the Warlord, they're the guys that can set garrison captains anywhere on the map within Ark. So we want them on different flanks, and usually the leaders of the flanks, or at least people that are vocal and receptive on Discord, so we can change garrison captains and make sure they're the strongest possible we have in that structure. So that needs to be set up beforehand. Also, there's an argument to have the other R4s as marchers, and yeah, also the R5 and titled R4s, it does make a difference spawning closer to the gate, and obviously being closer to the gate means you can get your T1 to the obelisks quicker. So ideally we want these kind of guys to be marchers. So there is an argument to say to teleporters who aren't launching rallies off the bat, or not even launching rallies, because they only have to be there before the gate opens. So yeah, I'd say teleporters that aren't sending T1 troops should be, as soon as Ark opens, where is it? When it opens in here, and you join through here. Like teleporters who aren't sending T1 troops, they don't have to rush in. Like I'd just say chill for a minute and then join, because you're teleporting. So if you're at the back, it doesn't matter, because once we occupy the obelisk, they're teleporting anyway. So it just means the marchers are near the front. And then also with the subs, there's always someone that doesn't turn up. So I think always be ready if you're a sub. Like, we will try and have at least 5 or 6 subs. and then there is an extra role that the subs can play, that they can view from above, they can be Overwatch. If we can find the right kind of people to do that, I'll probably, going forward, talk to the subs and say, look, if you're up for it, if you don't manage to get in, you can still play a part, being Overwatch and alerting us to incoming rallies from above and stuff like that. Yeah, that's stage 1, that's the prep.